So think about this question. Remember when you were 16 and you're like, okay, I'm going to get my permit. Like I'm going to take the test to get my permit. And then in 6 months, I'm going to learn how to drive and I'm going to be able to drive on my own. Now, what if at 16, instead of saying, hey, I'm going to get my license in 6 months, you said, hey, in 6 months, I am going to be a millionaire. But what you did, just like you did when you got your license, when you learned from someone who knew how to drive, when you studied the manual that was designed to help you learn how to move this vehicle that goes 100 miles per hour, you started learning, you started figuring it out, you started understanding how to turn the key, you started understanding what the R meant, what the D meant, what the neutral meant, and all of a sudden you started driving this car. You started learning what, hey, like maybe I have to think a little bit before I turn left, and all of a sudden in 6 months, if everything went right, you got your license. But to do that, one, you believed you could, other people were doing it, and three, you learned from people who knew how to drive. So what if at 16 you said, hey, I'm going to be a millionaire in 6 months? What would you do? You'd find someone who's already been a millionaire. So think about this. This could be health related. This could be wealth related. This can be relationship related. Who are some of the people that have what you want? And start writing that down right now. So just take a second, write that down. So now, okay, you thought of that person right now. Now think about this. How can I add value? How can I add value so that person wants to give me their time? And you start to realize no matter how wealthy someone is, no matter how successful someone is with the relationships, when you ask a question that draws them in, they will almost always stop and take time to listen to what you have to say. You know, Brandon Dawson says the quality of your questions determines the quality of your results. So right now, you found that person. You found that person. Maybe it's 2, maybe it's 3, maybe it's 4. It doesn't matter because you're going to do this the rest of your life. And many of you have done this a lot of your life. So you found that person. Now, a good question to ask is, how do you get through the challenges to get to where you are today? All of a sudden, they'll start telling you their whole story. Another way that you can do research is you can give a compliment. So, Jose, what's a compliment that you would give when talking to someone like Matt, that you got him to come on this call?
I would do some research about the person. So if you know what the person, likes and all of that, or what he has done, then I'm like, hey, what an incredible thing you did the other day in your business. And then he's like, oh, thank you. One of the things that I think I've done right with these people like Matt, I come to Matt and I'm just, hey, praising him like, dude, you're so awesome. You're so cool. You're the best. You're killing it. I saw the new mattress, and he wasn't expecting any of that. I'm sure he was like, this kid knows a lot about me because I did my research before.
That's exactly it. When you do research, you find different ways to give compliments. Like, hey, I just saw you open a new store. I'm so excited for you. Hey, saw your TV show. Really inspired me. Thanks so much. That adds value. So think about this. I will never forget this moment in my life. I was out at a bar and I was introducing myself to these 2 girls. And I said, hey, my name's Brandon. What's your name? And the one girl looks at me. She said, why are you worth it? Straight up. She said, why are you worth it? I said, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that, I'm that. What almost everybody would say. As soon as the conversation ended, it probably went like 15 minutes. There was no spark to it at all. But we had a conversation. I turned away. I said, wow, that is something I could really, really learn from. Why are you worth it? Every single person you talk to, why are you worth that person's time? Usually it's not telling them about yourself. Usually it's something that engages them. Maybe you say something funny. Maybe you're positive, like Matt says. Like Jose, one of the reasons I like being around him so much is he's just very, very positive. Sometimes you don't even have to say anything to add value to people. Ooh. Okay. So different ways to add value: positivity, asking good questions, compliments. Crazy things happen when you start using this approach. Whatever it is that you want, who are the people that can help you get there? And how can you add value to those people so that they want to help give you the answer? Sometimes it's money. Sometimes it's compliments. Sometimes it's making them feel good. Sometimes it's just freaking just asking.